Hey guys, it's me, OGDuffy, the original gamer, or old gamer, whichever you prefer. And here I am, as promised a few videos back, the Retron 5 full unpacking, setup and review and testing to check it works, to do what it claims to do. Now, what is this? Some of you may ask, some of you may well know. What this is, it's a third party developed console. This plays the following systems, okay? The Retron 5 is compatible with your favourite NES, Super NES, Super Famicom, Genesis, Megadrive, Famicom, Game Boy, Game Boy Colour and Game Boy Advance. Whew! So that's a lot of systems, guys, for one console. But not just that. We are also, at the very end, after I've got this set up, going to see if we can get this adapter to fit. So not only that, we can add Master System games to this one console. So why, guys, are you asking, why the Retron 5? Why not just stick with all your original hardware? Well, for several reasons, really. The original hardware, obviously, that's a lot of consoles to set up, guys. That's a lot of cables, that's a lot of power leads, etc, etc, etc. Not as well, modern TV sets don't cope particularly well with them older systems. But this uploads everything into high definition HD via a HDMI cable, and one system does all of those. Not just that as well, I've got multiple adapters for import games and all that. This should play them all. A big claim indeed. So anyway, guys, without further ado, they're the main reasons I want to get this bad boy up and running. So let's get it unboxed and let's set up and then let's test it with some import games, some standard games and all sorts of good stuff. Star Wars agrees. Do you? Let's go. So this is it, guys, the Retron 5. I've had this for quite a long time. I put pretty much, as I was building the games room, I was thinking of ordering one. So this is it. Let's quick look at the packaging on the outside first. All that old bump for you. Multiple system compatibility. It shows the systems there. Bit of a glossy bit. Hyperkin make this. This is a really nice touch, guys, and we're going to come to that real shortly, alright? Just on the back there, multiple system compatibility, which I explained in the intro, so we know what's going on with that. Graphical user GUI, it's got a menus option, I guess that's what that means. Save and load states, which are pretty cool. There's a wireless controller with this, and there's also a wired controller, and it's compatible with all sorts of things. The Retron 5 will play both PAL and NTSC cartridges. CIC lockout chips and FX chips are no longer going to be an issue, as we aim to achieve 100% compatibility with all cartridges. Woohoo! Right, okay. Let's crack this bad boy open. Let's see what we get inside, you know. Let's just open the lid there. Right, okay. And as we can see, that's everything inside here. So we have this here. A HDMI cable comes with a HDMI cable. That's a nice touch. Not everything does these days. There's a power supply there with an adapter to make it UK standard, and a power lead, which is pretty cool. Awesome. Right, that is the wireless controller. I've read a bit about these. These really do get slagged off badly, and it does feel a bit awkward, to be fair, but hey ho, hey ho. What's the next one? This is the one. This is basically a SNES controller. It's wired, as we can see. Now these have got very good reviews. It feels like a SNES controller. I mean, what can I say to that, really? Higher start, select, your shoulder buttons. So that'll probably get most use, I'm guessing. But anyway, it comes to this here now, the console itself. Let's take this out here. Okay, remove the plastic there and the clear plastic off the front. Let's take that out and all. Right, here we go. I'm guessing this is for your controllers to sit in when you're not using them. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. What's the idea behind that? Or is it for that one? Oh, that one seems to slot in a bit more. So that's also what it's designed for. You got your slots here. That's your Genesis, Sega Master System, a Megadrive, etc. Super NES, Famicom, Super SNES, etc. NES, and your PAL for Famicom. So that's your Japanese cards. And then at the front here, you've got this slot here, which does your Game Boy, Game Boy Colour, and Game Boy Advance games. Now this is what I really like at the back here. Let's take a look quick. We've got an SD card here, an SD card memory slot. You can download language packs, alright? So if there's a certain game I want to play that's a Japanese RPG, for example, you can download the language pack and you can play Japanese games with English text. Very clever indeed. HDMI output, and that there is a USB, I assume for the controller maybe, and the power supply. But these I think is a pucker touch, right? These here, look. If you've got original controllers, like for your SNES, your Megadrive and that, these can take your original controllers. So you can play Genesis and all that and whatever using the original controllers. How good are they? That's the NES one. And there's the Megadrive. Okay, so how cool is that, guys? But not just that for one player. Look, they've got it the other side as well, so we can do it for 2-player games. I think that's a really nice touch, Retron. You've done well with that, or Hyperkin, should I say. Okay, so let's put that to one side. Let's get out the bump. What we got here, we've got a nice Hyperkin sticker. Yep, that's not going to get a lot of use. Thank you for your purchase and support. Okay. Social medias, etc., all that sort of bump, and the instruction manual here itself in lots of different languages. So let's put that to one side. Let's put the plastic all back in here. Let's get that down. Get rid of that box. Not boxes lying about, do we? So all in all, that is it. It's quite nice. It's quite shiny. It's quite got a bit of depth to it. I think all that's left really is undo all these the cables and stuff and get this wired up to the TV, and let's see exactly how good this is. Does it live up to my promise? And then of course right at the end we'll try that Master System converter with it, and hopefully that works. Okay, now how does this work? A lot of people say, yeah, but it's not true, it's emulating. And yeah, in a way it does. It's a machine that emulates all these consoles. And how it does that, it'll basically, you put the cartridge in, and my understanding is it'll then take the information from the cartridge and make it into like a ROM, so you can play. But you still need the physical cartridge, okay? And save states and all that all work internally, one would hope. Anyway, let's get it set up. Let's see what it's all about. Okay, all wired together now, and as you can see on the screen, it's got a bit of calibration, etc. I haven't had a beer today. I need to have a beer. Anyway, use the left right arrows on the ground to adjust the size of the screen so that your whiteboard is positioned on the outside edge of the screen. Well, to be honest, that's pretty much there, you know what I mean? So I'm going to accept that. I'm not using the wireless controller. I'm using the wired SNES type controller. Feels a bit better than me. Right, quick info. Note if your TV has a game mode, set ensure that you've enabled it. Yeah. Defaulting down. Right, default in-game menu buttons is down and start together. Okay, got that. Save and the internal storage. Yeah, that all sounds good to me. Power off, TV settings. What we got in here? Did the bleep come from the telly or did it come from the unit? That was weird. Image filter. 2x Super Eagle. HQ and none. Okay. Scan lights on and off. That's good. Some people love scan lines, some aren't so keen. Aspect ratio normal. You can stretch it to fit fully the screen. Normal. I'll keep it on normal for the moment. Display over scan on and off. False original resolution off. Screen refresh match to game. Screen size. Audio. What audio we got? Sound enhancement on. Bass boost. Treble boost, GUI, sound effects, volume, etc. Keep that on full because hey, we like a bit of volume. I'm a Motorhead fan after all. Controllers, manage Retron 5. I'm not going to do that. We can remap the buttons and that on these, which is a pretty good idea. Hotkey and the system, fast cartridge loading, yes please. Automatic inputs. Right, it's looking alright, guys. I'm not going to go through the rest of that there. I think that's pretty acceptable stuff. So that's the general settings. I think we've seen enough of that. Let's get a game on. Let's see how this handles some games, import games and that sort of stuff. First game we're going to try, guys, is this. It's a Super Nintendo game, an EU PAL version. Let's get it in the slot. Let's see. Now, I've read something about the slots on these. Check the Genesis, Super NES, which is that one there. Apparently someone said how tight they are. Now that to me wasn't tight, it went in quite nicely. But does it work? This is nice, this little setting here. I don't know if you guys can see that little LED on the front, tells you which system it's operating for. So let's have a look now. What do we do here? What do we do? Okay, so the cartridge is installed. I'm assuming we just hit the play button there. See if it works. Licensed by Nintendo. Hey, Capcom guys, I love me some Capcom. Oh, right. Look good. It's upscaled. Sounds good. Let's have a quick run out. Let's check it works all right. Game start, etc. Don't get me wrong, right? I know this is emulation, but let's be honest. It's just convenience, isn't it? It's convenient. Let's game start. Let's have a go. Oh, mate, I played this to absolute death on my original SNES. This cartridge could tell a tale or 10, I tell you. It's just showing it as the 4:3 aspect ratio. Oh, I'm having my backside whopped. I'm getting the hang of it now. I'm getting my eye in, guys. Getting my eye in. Oh, had me backside kicked. It's good to see. Now, should we go try a menu? I can't remember how you get into the menu. I think it's down and is it select or A? I'm going to have a go stretching the screen and stuff to feel. Let's see what happens. Ah, here we go. We've got an in-game menu here. Return to game, save state, etc. Volume, scan lines. Just pop them on. There we go. Let's go back. Let's have a look on look at it with the scan lines on. There we go. So with the scan lines on, guys. Yeah, I'm coming back this round. It's the scan lines, guys. I'm old school. It's the scan lines. Yeah, I won that round. So it's working. Let's have a go and see if we can work out how to stretch the screen. So far so good. I'm right. Return to game. So how do we go back? Return to the main menu. Let's give that a go. Game menu settings. Right, here we go. So we're going to turn the scan lines off. And we're going to go aspect ratio. We're going to take it from normal. We'll stretch it. Let's see what happens. Normal. If I press that. I was hoping it'd show you in that sidebar, as you can see there, that where it looks like stretched and stuff, but it doesn't. Right, let's just go stretch. Let's see what happens now. Okay, so B for back, I'm assuming, and A for play. Right, it's stretched it. So as you can see there, guys, it stretched it. Don't know if I like that. It looks a bit pixelated to me. But hey, we've taken it out of its original aspect ratio, so hopefully this gives you a good idea. Personally, I'll be playing it in. Oh yeah, I've got my arm in now, guys. Mate, you never lose it. Anyway, that's only level 1 on the SNES version. Great stuff. I will be taking the stretch off. Let's give a Japanese game a go now. A Super Famicom game. As you can see, this is Final Fight. It should play imports okay, so hopefully no issues. Now this is quite an expensive game to buy if you get the UK sort of PAL version, but if you buy Japanese games, I find that you get the good title games and they're a lot cheaper. Don't know why, they just are. And quite often I prefer the box art and stuff as well, you know, so it's a win-win for me. Anyway, let's have a look at the cartridge. Looks quite clean. Let's get it in there. I'm going to put it in the Super NES slot and hopefully it reads that as a Super Famicom game. Okay, it's just right there in the little corner on the right. Had a lot of bar went like that. I assume it's ripping the ROM from the cartridge down onto the system. It's come up with Final Fight there. Let's hit play. Capcom presents. This is looking good, guys. Oh yeah. That lovely Japanese wording, look at it. So far so good. Really pleased thus far, guys, really am. Oh yes. See, I've got a load of Street Fighter games on the SNES, but they're the Japanese ones. So replaying some of these is going to be great, you know. And I've got that one. Got that one there. What's that one? That's Turbo. And I got the original World Warrior as well, I think, but the Japanese, which is the one we tested. So I must have about 4 versions of that now. But yeah, got some great games to play, and of course, and them Japanese RPG games as well. Well, this seems to be working, guys. Let's just give it a quick bit of gameplay. I mean, you forget how what a great system the SNES was, you know. Absolutely, SNES was amazing. Cody or Hager would just be Hager. This isn't the greatest conversion out there. I did a versus video of this not long ago. I've kept the screen thing on. I'll tell you what. We're just going to go back, and I want to return to the main menu. I want to put it back to the aspect ratio. I don't want to stretch it. So I want game menu. No, it's not game menu. I'm getting used to this, guys. I've not used it before. Scan lines are off. Aspect ratio. That's what we want. Normal. That's the one. That's the one we want, guys. Oh no, I'm pressing wrong buttons. Bear with. Sorry. I'm just getting used to it. So as we can see there, we stretched the screen back. I think I've got to reboot the game now. Oh, or maybe not. Here we go. Now, as a conversion, this one wasn't bad when I did this on the Versus, but I remember it lacked enemies. I think you only had like a couple of enemies on the screen at once compared to the arcade. But graphically and the sound and stuff was really good. And there was only the 2 players you could choose from, if I recall, which we've seen anyway. So anyway, that works. So far so good, guys. I think we should move on to a different system now. Let's try them Megadrive games. Let's give Sega their shot. So choosing a Sega game, not sure what to go for. Let's take a look at the shelf. Let's pick one. Picking a game now. What to go for. So many great titles on this system. I'll be honest, I often refer to the Mega Drive and the SNES as the ultimate console wars. I really do think they were just the best, you know what I mean? Let's try something, I don't know, what should we go for, guys? Nothing too heavy, something a bit light. Like Hellfire, a great shoot 'em up. Let's give this a go. Right, let's give this a go, Hellfire. Nice complete version here, guys. Check that slot. The cartridge looks clean. Right, so we're going into the top slot now because it's for the Genesis. That feels a lot tighter, that slot. Let's have a look in there. Yeah, that's definitely the correct slot. Oh, there we go. Right, Hellfire. It seemed to have ripped that one quite quick, if that's what it's done. So anyway, let's hit the start button, play. Let's see if we go straight in. Sega! Hellfire, press start. Yes, start straight away. What I remember about this, it's a great shoot 'em up. It's from the arcade, obviously, but I actually bought this back in the day for the Mega Drive because I remember a lot of magazines at the time really raved about how good it was as a shooter, and it was. I've got really fond memories of it. You could multi-directional shoot and stuff. Oh mate, I'm so happy. Everything we've thrown at the Retron so far, it has had no issues with. I'm playing Mega Drive games with like a SNES controller. That in itself is a bit odd. Mate. And I say, I haven't even had a beer yet. So everything so far is looking good. What I liked about this version, the Mega Drive version, compared to the arcade was you could choose your level of difficulty, you could up your lives and all that, so you can actually try and see how far you can get in the game, you know. So I think next we'll try an NES game, a nice NES game, go a bit old school, and then we will give that all important Mega Drive Super SMS system cartridge slot thing a turn and see if that works. I'm hoping it does. Oh, I'm getting a bit engrossed here, aren't I? Rob, calm yourself down. Right, let's move this on. I'm just getting used to coming in and out of menus and stuff. So that down and start together. No, down and start together. Return to the main menu. And then we're back to the main menu, and then it's okay to move your cartridges and stuff then. So let's get Hellfire out. Again, I'm going to use that lift to the side. I have to say, the Mega Drive slot was a lot tighter than the Super Famicom SNES one. So I'm well chuffed at the moment, guys. I am well chuffed. Let's go get an NES game now. Moving in for the NES. Not an awful lot of games here for my NES collection, but one is standing out to me, guys. Come on, if you're a fan of the OGDuffy channel, you know which game is standing out already, don't you? Oh yes, a bit of Star Wars. Get him unboxed. Do you know what? I've had this game for God knows how long, and I haven't actually played it. Because I've got all the original consoles down on my bottom shelf and that. But like I say, that's what's neat about this system, is it's one system. You haven't got to have all them plug sockets, all them cables running, one power supply. And so far, so good. It's played everything we've thrown at it. Ah, there we go. It's a complete version. It's manual as well. You know, you've got to have the manual, guys. Anyway, nice NES condition cartridge there. Should we give it a blow? For old time's sake. They used to tell you not to blow your cartridges, didn't they, back in the day? Anyway, let's get this in. Let's see if this one plays. So here we go. We're going to go at the front here. NES goes in there. Oh, that had a bit of an oomph to it, that one. As you can see there, it says loading. Star Wars, it's done it. Strangely, that's an NES game, and it seemed to take a split second longer to enter the system than the Mega Drive game and the Super Nintendo game. Quite why that is, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. So we want to go to play. Yes, we want to play the game. Here we go. Star Wars. So far, so good. A Lucasfilm. It's building attention. I'm waiting for the Star Wars thing to burst. Come on. Don't disappoint me. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It's there, guys. We're there. Yay! NES Star Wars. Oh, mate. We're rocking with the best of them now, aren't we? Right, okay. Hit our start button. And what is nice with this, as I said right at the beginning, you can plug in original controllers for each system. So, oh mate. So I've got NES controllers and that, so I will be using the official controllers for each one. Doing a nice little insert there from the beginning of the game. Yep, C-3PO and R2-D2 have gone in that pod. Right, let's give this a quick bit of gameplay. I'll tell you what, for an NES game, graphically, this I don't think is a bad game. I think they've done a really good job with this. I've seen lots of gameplay videos and stuff before. Starting off, right, okay, we're going into that cave. Right, it's a bit of a platformer, jump, shoot. Now, the SNES games of Star Wars are as hard as nails. Oh, mate. I am going to make so much use of this, don't get me wrong. Oof, that was tight. The problem with platform games for me, right, is patience. I really do. I've always lacked patience. I try to rush through like there, see what I mean? Anyway, it's worked. So far we've thrown at it the Sega Megadrive, we've thrown it at Super Nintendo, we've thrown it at Super Famicom and NES. Everything has worked. No issues at all. So far so good, guys. I think it's time, don't you? The big question I've been asking myself is, will it work with that Sega Master System adapter? I really do hope it does, obviously, because I did love the Master System. I thought it was a great little system. Anyway, enough of that. Let's move on. Master System next. Hopefully it'll work. Fingers crossed, guys. Right, let's get the NES cartridge out. Again, I use that side slip thing. I think it looks a lot better, and it seemed to for that one. Look, I'm not going to leave all these cartridges just lying around it. I will be putting them away at the end. But anyway, we digress. Let's get the Master System converter out of its box. Here we go, guys. The Master System converter. This is the one that we're hoping works. All right. I bought this recently for the purpose of it hopefully working through the Retron 5. The packaging is so tight with this. Mate, I'm going to have to use the fast forward. Now that was a struggle, but we got there, guys. Anyway, here it is. So that should just use the slot for the the Mega Drive slot. Let's go, let's try it. Right, it's in position. I'm not sure about that, you know. I'm not sure if that's in or not. It doesn't Doesn't feel like it's connected to me. Ah, there we go. There we go. Bit of oomph. Right, it hasn't said anything on the screen, so it hasn't recognised anything differently. Let's go grab a Master System game, and hopefully it's there. Okay, picking a Master System game now. It's a system I've got very fond memories of, and I've still got quite a few of my cartridges up in the loft. I mean, you've got Outrun there, look at that. I love the cover artwork on these games. They were so basic. But I think that was, I don't know, that was the appeal. Bit of Golden Axe, maybe. I don't know, what should we go for, guys? Alien Syndrome, Lemmings, Pit Fighter. Do you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. We're going to do this. Let's do it properly. Oh, yes. R-Type, my friend. R-Type on the Sega Master System. What can I say? R-Type's just an amazing game, isn't it? I'm really hoping this works. Because again, it's just one more bit of hardware you haven't got set up in it. So let's get this bad boy in there. Let's see how we go. Let's lift that little cartridge slot thing. It's not the most oh, it's blinking, it's thinking. Alright, okay, looking good. It's come up with R-Type on the thing. Right, let's hit A. Mate, we are, I've got yet to press start. Push the start button. I'm pushing the start button. Fear not, my friend. Oh, so far so good. Hey! Oh, mate. Oh, yes. I've never played the Master System version of this. I've reviewed it, and I've played it via an emulator, which same thing I know pretty much now, and it plays all right. It's a very good conversion. Oh mate, awesome. So guys, what can I say? Everything we've thrown at this so far has worked. Let's give some old Game Boy games a go and everything else, and then from there I will then give you my complete summary, and I will get a beer because my god, I've earned one. So 3 Game Boy games to try. We've got Tetris. Oh, probably one of my all-time favourite games for all sorts of reasons. If you've seen my videos, you might know. I've got a Game Boy Advance game there, Super Buster Move, and a Game Boy Colour game, Backgammon. I don't think so. Right, let's kick things off. Let's start with the original Game Boy. Bit of Tetris. Now, personally, I don't really see the point of emulating or upscaling handhelds like this. Handhelds were designed to be played exactly that, handheld. So, you know, let's get that in. So I assume they just slot in the front there like that. Oh, I don't know. Do you have to give it a bit of an oomph or? That to me, that don't feel right. It don't feel like it's in there. Do you know what I mean? Let's have a look. Oh, I think it is, you know. Oh, yeah, it is. I should have looked at the screens. It says loading on that. So Tetris, it's saying, is there. This is original Game Boy. Play. As I was saying, I don't really see the point of upscaling games that are designed to be on a screen that big to the screen this size. Oh, interestingly, it's added colour to it. Oh, do you know what? I'm really surprised. It looks really good. That is playable. I thought it was going to look awful because of the screen resolution size and all that. Oh, mate, I love Tetris. And for me, this is probably one of the versions that I have the most fondest memories of, you know. What a Christmas that was, mate, when I got my Game Boy. I got it with Super Mario Land. I actually sneaked it out of the box probably a week before Christmas and had a play. Because, hey, I wasn't a youngster then, so my mum and dad really didn't mind or whatever. So as we can see, guys, this is working. I'm quite impressed at how well that has upscaled. I really am. I was expecting it to look absolutely awful, but it's actually looking all right. Let's try let's give a Game Boy Advance game a spin out next. Super Buster Move on the Game Boy Advance. This feels very light. I don't have the cartridges in there, you know. In which case, we ain't testing. I don't think the cartridges in here. Oh no, my cartridge ain't in there, it's in the house. We're not testing a Game Boy Advance game just yet. Right, a bit of Game Boy Colour. Although, to that, it seems to upscale Game Boy games to colour anyway, so... Didn't seem to do a lot, really, did it? Backgammon slotted in. That one actually clicked in nicely. There we go. Backgammon, play. Let's just get that on. Check it works. JVC, Music Europe. Licensed by Nintendo. There we go. Right, that's working absolutely fine. New game, tournament, yeah, whatever. I've done how to play backgammon full stop. So, right, here we go. I'll show you his boss. Yeah, I think you've shown me that boss. Now, let's get a beer and let's give a summary of this thing. So, let's summarise this, the Retron 5, okay? Guys, I think my face said it all during that video, you know. Oh, wow. What can I say? But before I say, let's get to the beer. How you guys like it? A Bavaria Lager, Bavaria Holland. Premium beer. Only 4.3% this one. But hey, let's give it a go, shall we? Bavaria Lager. It's not to love. It's beer, it's cold, it's alcoholic. Let's pop the cap on that bad boy and grab a glass. Oh, yes. Get a nice pour going on there of the Bavaria. Here we go. Hopefully I won't get too much of a head. Just lately, where I've been pouring these on the channel, I've been developing a bit of a head on these. This is looking alright though, guys. Oh, he says, until the very last bit up, I took the glass too early. That bottle nearly fits in there perfectly. There's a little dribble left. Anyway, Bavaria Lager from Holland. 4.3%. Let's see if it's any good. Overspilt a bit now. Yeah. That's alright. It's a bit. Yeah. It tastes a bit weak, that one. But anyway, to the main point at hand. Now, okay, the Retron 5, any good? Positives and negatives. Right, first off, let's start with the negatives. The negatives are, negatives are the controller. The wireless controller is not the greatest. The hardwired controller, which looks like the SNES controller, is really good. Pucker, just like an old controller. Other negatives, I'm struggling. I'm struggling for negatives with this thing. Oh, one for the guys that are strictly, it has to be on hardware that's original and all that. That's a negative, obviously, because it's not proper hardware. It emulates the ROMs and the cartridges that you put in, so it creates sort of a ROM. They are the only negatives I've got with this. Let's now do the positives. Multiple systems. Mate, one plug, one cable from this to the telly, right? If I had to have so many different machines set up, I mean, we're talking your Genesis or your Megadrive, your Super Nintendo, you'd have to have your NES, and then you'd have to have multiple adapters to play the import games and everything else. With this, there's none of that. It's just one. So that is a massive thing. Equally, this upscales to HD, okay, all through HDMI cables. If I was to do that through modern TV, through these retro game consoles, you'd have to have like the adapter that you need for it and all that to upscale and everything else. And that is a small fortune on its own. Right, other positives. That there at the back, the SD card slot, which I am yet to use and test out properly. I get that. But I've heard it works, all right? So what does that do? It means I can go online, I can find language packs for games like Japanese RPGs and stuff like that. And let's be honest, there are quite a few. I mean, Chrono Trigger. What a game that is, guys. Come on. Anyway, Chrono Trigger. I can get a language pack for that. Whack it in the back, play it, and it'll show as English. Now, the positive is with buying Japanese Famicom or Super Famicom games in particular is you get these so much cheaper than what you pay over here. Plus, a lot of the time, I think the artwork on the boxes is slightly better. What do you guys think? Better artwork or not? It probably doesn't show particularly well because of the shimmer on the case. Okay, but you get the idea, guys. So there's plenty of Japanese RPGs to be playing on that system. This one I'm particularly looking forward to. Elfaria. Something about the artwork on that. I just really like the artwork. I mean, what do you guys think? Looks cool, doesn't it? Very cartoony, and I like me comic books. But anyway, that's another positive. The multiple systems, the upscaling, that drive, and of course the controllers. All right, you can use the original controllers. Now I've got the original controllers. I've got the original NES controller. I've got the original Mega Drive controller. I've got the original Super Nintendo controller. They all work through this. Not just for one player though, but for two. So what's not to love with that? So in a nutshell, would the OGDuffy recommend the Retron 5? No brainer, guys. Honestly, it's minimalistic. It upscales. It played everything I threw at it. I'm sure there'll be some flaws. I'm sure there will be, you know. I have yet to find them. It's only early days, but so far, so good, guys. I am well happy with this. So anyway, if you don't already subscribe, do hit that subscribe button. It makes me a happy man. And this content is free. Yes, I don't charge you for this. I do this out of my own heart and because I love the community and I just love everything we do here. I love the feedback you guys give me, all right? And in the comments, most importantly, drop in the comments. Retron, yay or nay? Original hardware, of course, we all prefer that, but in today's society, this works for me. Anyway, guys, I've been OGDuffy. You've been awesome as always. Thanks for watching. Let me have your comments, guys, your thoughts, your beliefs, and would you have a Retron 5? Anyway, this beer is for you. Cheers.